Hi guys, hello Instagram, and so we're now back on Facebook. Hey guys, I just want to make sure the cameras are on. So hi guys, good evening. So doing the English version of my video, I've decided this week to do the Portuguese version first, and here I am back doing my English version. So, good evening, everybody. And I'm here, as promised last week, to talk a little bit more about credit score and how important it is for all of you that are planning to buy your first home here in the UK, or for those of you who are property investors, how important it is to look after it. But I think this video is more for the community that are first-time buyers and are quite new to credit score and to property. So I wanted to be talking about the rainbow of the credit score. And what is that? The rainbow of the credit score. So it's the colorful credit score report that we get from all of those companies out there. And for those of you that are quite new to the UK and to property here in the UK, once you open a credit score, it doesn't matter which website you're going to get it from. It's going to be a colorful rainbow. And the colors that you see there are green, strong green or light green, orange or kind of light orange and dark orange, and red, dark red and light red. So those are the colors that you're going to see. And what do they mean for those of you that are quite new to the UK? So the green color means that your credit score is excellent, is in good condition. You are actually able to buy a property here in the UK, even if you've only been here for a year or two, and you're keeping up with your credit score, which is excellent. So that's the green color. It gets more complicated as we go down. So the orange and light orange and dark orange color, it means that your credit score is good to fair. And what does that mean? It means that perhaps you have not used your credit as much as you probably should. And especially if you are new to the UK, it could be that your credit score is going to be around there. Because the banks cannot see what you do to your credit. They can't see, if you are a good payer, I think is the word. And therefore, they give you a lower score or a lower color in the credit score rainbow. And it's very important, especially if you haven't been here a long time, that you actually ask for a credit card or get in touch with your bank and try and understand what are the options that they can give to you, perhaps an overdraft. But make sure that you use the facilities so you can show to the banks and to the lenders that you are a good payer and that you can keep up with your payments, and therefore you can increase your credit score and get into a situation where you can actually get a mortgage here in the UK. But saying that though, even if you are on the yellow mark, you could actually get a mortgage here in the UK, you will get a higher interest rate than someone who's on excellent, who's on green. But you are able to actually get a mortgage here in the UK if you are around that color. So don't give up on your dream, and make sure that you look after your credit score. But that's still a possibility if you are around there. Another reason that you can be on yellowish or fair is if you have a credit card and you actually have used over 50% of that limit. So say, for example, your limit is £5,000 and you've used £3,000, £4,000. That could affect your credit score. And therefore, my recommendation is, if you are getting ready now to buy a property here in the UK, try to keep up your credit card limit to 50%. So say, for example, you've got £5,000 limit, try to use only 2,500 and keep that, because that will automatically increase your credit score. So that's another possibility or another profile for clients who will come to me and try and understand how they can improve their credit score. That's one thing that we tell them. And then you've got the red, and the red, it's something that actually, it could be that you had late payments that will stay on your credit score for a while. So guys, make sure that you set up direct debits for everything, even your gas, your electricity, anything that is to do with payments will come up in your credit score if you make a late payment. So please make sure that you set up direct debits for everything, your phones, you know, sometimes the silly things I see, very silly things like one day that was missed for a payment, and then it happened regularly, and then eventually the company has actually marked you down your credit score. So make sure that you know, direct debit is something that I always recommend to my clients, and believe me, there is still people that do pay bills on paper. It's something that still happens. So keep that in mind. And the other thing that has happened as well is court judgments. So someone who perhaps has had a late payment, sometimes it's a penalty of a car that you wasn't aware of. Sometimes it's a bill of a property that you've moved out that you wasn't aware of, and then it's all the way into court already, and it gets marked on your credit score and it will stay there for a few years. So hence the importance of keeping an eye on your credit score and trying to understand where you are, if there's anything new that you can't identify, because I see a lot of clients that come to me and they have their credit score in between yellow and red, and it's because there's a lot of things that they were not even aware of. And those things can be negotiable. So if you do identify something on your credit score that you're not aware of, get in touch with the company, try and understand what it is, try and negotiate it, but make sure they take that mark off your credit score so you can actually improve it and achieve your dream of buying your property here in the UK. So that's it from me really for this week. Next week, we're going to be covering a theme on credit cards, so giving a little bit more details. There's a lot of rumors out there saying, oh, if I have a credit card, if I have a loan, I'm not able to get a mortgage here in the UK. So we'll talk a little bit more about that next week. And let me just look at my map again. We'll also talk a little bit more about how to improve your credit score if you are on red. And we will talk about the importance of a broker. Why should I try and find a broker to get a mortgage, to remortgage a property if you already have a property? Why not just walk into a bank and get a product there? So we'll talk a little bit more about that next week. And especially for those of you that already have properties, that are already property investors, I'm sure you know all of this, but do believe me, there's people out there that really appreciate me providing this information to them. The importance of having a good broker and actually understand with them when are you due to remortgage, how much they can save you, etc. And I'll give you a couple of examples as well next week. Okay, so lots of love from me, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye. Bye, Instagram. Thanks, guys. And bye, YouTube. See you soon.